How's it going, and welcome back to the Marvel Snap deck highlight here on YouTube. I recently opened Dracula, and it's a sweet card I've been trying in a bunch of different shells, and today we're going to be showing it off in a one-drop swarm deck featuring Khazar as well. Before we dive fully into the deck tech, remember if you enjoy this sort of video, make sure you tap that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm putting out a few different Marvel Snap videos here per week, and I would love to invest more time into it if the metrics permit. That being said, let's take a look at Dracula here. So after the final turn, discard a card from your hand. This has its power. So obviously, the biggest and best thing we can be doing with Dracula here is none other than the Infinaut, the 20 power 6 mana card that normally has a pretty strict condition under which you can play it. So getting its power into play in an alternative way, such as Dracula, has a lot of appeal. Well, the easiest way to accomplish getting the Infinaut into play with Dracula is by playing it in a deck like this. We're playing a ton of 1-mana cards so we can ensure in the games where we draw Dracula and Infinaut, we have an empty hand, sans just the Infinaut at the end of the game, so we can discard it to essentially get 20 power for 4 mana. Once we consider that that's something we're interested in doing, that makes Khazar a natural inclusion because this is an additional payoff in our deck for having lots of 1-mana cards in play. We're frequently going to have upwards of 6 or 7 1-mana cards thanks to things like Squirrel Girl, so Khazar is often double digits worth of power for just 4 mana as well. The other card that we're playing as a payoff in this deck is Strong Guy, which is yet another thing that rewards us for getting our hand empty, something this deck wants to be doing anyways. So while not quite double digits worth of power, 9 power for just 2 mana is nothing to scoff at here. The last thing to note is we are playing America Chavez in this deck, as you always draw this card on turn 6 and not before. So the ultimate goal of this deck is when you have that Infinaut in hand, you want to get every other card out of your hand on turn 5, so that way when you draw Chavez on turn 6, you can play her out to add 10 power to her location. Then you discard your Infinaut to the Dracula for a big boost, and you're good to go from there. When I was recording these games today, we have a new featured location, which is Murray Isle, which actually works really well with this build since we're swarming the board with 1-drops very quickly. So playing out 1-drops on turn 1 to Murray Isle so they can get bonuses over the whole game is quite fantastic. I've got a range of highlights here that include Murray Isle and not, so you can see how the deck performs under a variety of situations. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back real soon with some more Marvel Snap here on YouTube. All right, Hawkeye into Murray Isles, turn 1 snap. Let's do it. Then we'll Iceman plus Nightcrawler here again. Sign me up. Got Dracula lined up for 4. Iceman gives us a little disruption here. And this is a meta deck too, right? Like this Okoyo Jubilee deck is an established good deck. I think I need to Electra here, right? Just for the sake of getting her out of my hand. Because if I draw a... I guess I'm going to draw... So I'll draw 1 card next turn. Yeah. Because if I draw another 1-drop and then Khazar, I need Electra out of my hand this turn. Okay, so Strong Guy is actually a potentially awkward draw here, because if we draw exactly Khazar out of our 4 remaining cards here, because remember, one of these is Chavez, we can't draw her. If we draw exactly Khazar next turn, we get a little hosed. It means I won't be able to get my hand empty for Strong Guy, and we'll have a coin flip on Dracula. So we're 75% to be okay here. Sick. Okay. So I think I want to put Strong Guy into the left here. And we'll put Nightcrawler mid. Do I want to put Nightcrawler mid, or do I want to put him left and put Rocket Raccoon mid? Because remember, I'm going to have to play Chavez right here. Because Strong Guy's worth 10 here. I think they're probably going to play to the vault because they're already committed here. I think this is the line. We do this, and the next turn we draw Chavez, play her right, and then Dracula is going to discard the Infinaut. Oh, wow. Elektra left is bad news bears for us. Okay, that's fine, though. Okay, so we're going to end up not playing right. We're winning center by discarding the Infinaut, and then we win left by playing Chavez out, right? He says before he gets Nova Carnaged. So we know they have a 1-mana demon in their hand. Let's say their hand is Demon Nova Carnage, right? They would have a Carnage that's 6 plus a Demon that's 6. Do we actually Chavez here still? To hedge Nova Carnage? So I'm going to have 24 in the middle, and then Nova would put each of these plus 8 to 23. Demon will not get the boost because it would get destroyed if it got the boost. Yeah, I think we Chavez right because they have Demon for 1, which means they'd have to have 10 other power inside of their 2 other cards for 5 mana, which I don't think is possible. Yeah, so Chavez right beats their Chavez here, and it beats Nova Carnage. Sick. That was a sweet game. Yeah, Strong Guy is a quality card. He seems sweet for sure. Our cards cost 1 less. Well, shit. Noted. This is actually really bad for us because our deck is good at spending all of its resources, so we don't really do anything with an extra turn. Insert Spider-Man meme here. Okay, so Elektra is a huge draw here because she means that if they don't play an armor here, I win Mojo World by playing Elektra as my last card on I think I'm gonna hold on to Rocket Raccoon for now. We can get kind of punished by a wave, but oh, I need to Rocket Raccoon to make Hawkeye bigger, right? That's fine. We guessed right here. All right. Well, I'm definitely playing out Iceman to go ahead and get the random effect on their thing. So we guaranteed draw Chavez next turn. So the question is, can we find an Infinaut? All right, and there's a Sunspot from them. So now, do I actually play this left in case they pass turn this turn to Infinaut me? because I kind of want to be able to play to win left and center here. So because Sunspot means they could Infinaut, I think we just chill. We do this left. Okay, so we're not getting Infinauted, and I am behind left now. Okay, and our Dracula also isn't going to do anything. That's unfortunate. I think we lose because we didn't draw Infinaut here. He's one of the last 2 cards in our deck. I guess we do this, and then Squirrel Girl discards to here, and then we have like a small amount of power in. I'm gonna stay in for one more cube, but I think we lost. So this is gonna end up with 10 or 12. How does this work out? I think it's 12 that beats us. Yeah. Wait, are we close? We might be close here. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we're still short. Wait. Mojo tiebreaker does it. Lovely. Lovely, chat. That was sick. So we had incredibly bad variance there. Both Elysium and Limbo were not good for our deck. And Infinaut and Strong Guy were our last 2 cards in deck. But Mojo World was good for us with Electra. So we tied, and then we won the tiebreaker as hard as you could possibly win it. How do you know he'll grab Infinaut? Because our deck is structured in a way that if we draw Infinaut, it's always the last card in our hand. Ooh. I think I want to put someone into the cloning vats here. I think it's Iceman for the disruptive element. No, I think they were more likely to play to Murray Isle than cloning vats, which is what ended up happening. Okay, and now we want to Iceman into Murray Isle because I want my hand to be thin. Now, this is one of those games where if I draw Strong Guy as one of our next 2 draws, we won't be able to guarantee Infinaut with Dracula. So if we draw Khazar Dracula and then Strong Guy on 4 or 5, we get into some trouble. All right, there's an Ant-Man. So the Ant-Man draw is kind of interesting. Because we have Titan here, the Ant-Man draw actually means that I could Ant-Man mid and then Dracula. No, that's not true. I'll say I could Dracula plus, but that's not. No, that doesn't work that way. There's the unfortunate Strong Guy that we're not going to be able to get our hand empty for. Wait, I could Dracula the cloning vats, right? If I Dracula on cloning vats, next turn I draw Chavez, and then I can Dracula plus Strong Guy on the right to have Chavez plus Infinaut as my last 2 cards in hand. Right? That works that way? Which means I probably... Actually, I could Ant-Man here. And then I could Dracula or Strong Guy here. Yeah, that's a lot of power, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna snap. I think this is actually good for us. Because the way the cloning vats work out, we'll have double Dracula. I thought we weren't going to be able to empty our hand here, but because of the cloning vats and getting us another Dracula, we actually will. Okay, so I can't play mid because if I play mid, my hand won't be guaranteed empty. And then we're hoping that, well, I guess if Infinaut goes here, we win here most likely, and if Infinaut goes here, we win here most likely. So whichever location gets Infinaut, we're likely to win. Oh, I guess they could add more power to the cloning vat, so we're hoping that Infinaut goes to this Dracula. Okay, so now, are we just hosed now? Oh, the Enchantress got us by 1. Oh, actually, the Enchantress didn't matter, right? Because I wasn't filling here anyways. The Nightcrawler slide is what got us. The Nightcrawler slide got us. That wasn't one that I had factored in. Close game. I feel like this game highlights one of the reasons why I think Snaps got a really good fundamental game system, and that's because these locations give you. Oh, Enchantress pulled one off of this. Yeah, that's true. Because the locations give you variance in the game, you can let deck building allow for pretty hyper consistent decks that still have variety of gameplay. And this just shows that, right? Like how this game, where normally I wouldn't be able to get my hand empty because of the way my draw lined up, but cloning vats made it actually be possible because it gave me double Dracula, was really sweet. And I know we ultimately didn't win this game, but it helped the game feel very different and unique, even in my pretty hyper consistent deck, because of the variance locations provided. The bottleneck for leveling that money solves is credits. Yeah, to a degree. But so like once you hit level 954, once you hit level 954, you only start getting 1 new card a day, regardless of how much money you spend. Even if you're spending the maximum amount. You feel like this deck is punished by locations more than the average deck? No, I think basically every deck in this game has bad location variance at different points. I've played a lot of different decks, and they all basically get hosed by location variance at different points. So we're leveraging Murray Isle early and often here, as our deck has been known to do. Get an extra energy this turn, sure. That's probably better for their deck than ours. They're probably like a Jubilee deck. If I had to venture a guess. I'll hold on to Electra for now in case they deploy like a Sunspot. Or Nova, whatever that card. Sunspot is the one that soaks things up. Kinda surprised they Jubileed on the left here. Perhaps I should have Strong Guide here, but I was kind of expecting them to I was kind of expecting them to not play here because they had so much power. All right, and there's the Infinaut for us here. So we have Chavez next turn. So I think we snap at this point, right? Because Electra here, and then next turn I play Chavez somewhere, and Infinaut is guaranteed to go to Dracula. So we've got this game on lock, I think. Okay, so they skipped their turn last turn, meaning they're going to Infinaut this turn as well, which means this is going to end up at 10 power. So if I Chavez mid and Nightcrawler mid, we beat the Devil Dino center. And then do we still win here? I'll have 16, 21, 24 here. They're going to have 9, 21. They're also going to have 24 here. The vision could make things kind of screwy here, but I think we have a good shot to win with this setup here. Vision can slide around, changing the calculus on things. I guess they could Infinaut left and Vision center, which would mean I actually want to Chavez here, right? If they do that. But then if they don't move Vision, they just Infinaut here, we lose. So it's kind of just a variance flip here, depending on what they do with like Vision moving around. Yeah, so good beats. We predicted what they were going to do with our permutations, talking through the Vision possibly moving. So that's not bad at all. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. Remember, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more deck breakdowns here on YouTube, tap that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. I'll see you back again here real soon, hopefully.